Alright, last time we had a bit of a moment with Sam on the roof, and I lost track of time. I was so absorbed into the game that instead of ending the video at 30 minutes, I ended it at 50 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to split it up quite yet, but if I do, then you know. you probably know from the playlist. So, yeah. Someone made us breakfast. I don't know if it was Sam. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a Sam thing kind of do, but yeah, we're gonna carpool with our friends. And so Sam stopped us and told us his true name for whatever reason.
If you're in any danger, any time, it doesn't matter when, call my name. I promise that I'll come and help you.
Okay. I stared up at Sam, unable to say anything. I could only nod in response. Sam nodded back before releasing my hand and heading into the dining room. Something told me that name would be used eventually. Uh-oh. And right on cue, Naomi drove up to the gates with Susie waving me down. I rushed out the door and we headed to school, talking about the homework and the coming day. We made it into the school without a hitch. Our lockers were in the same part of the hall, so we quickly unloaded what we needed to and got our important books and necessities. First incident of the day. As I walked towards Susie and Naomi, who were both waiting for me on the opposite side of the hall, something hooked my ankle and made me fall forward. Whoa! Ow.
Hey, are you okay?
Uh-oh.
Who did that?
The three of us looked back to see Lizette and her gaggle of girls. Lizette had a look of complete innocence, while the girls around her giggled like no tomorrow.
Why, you little... Suzu, don't!
I felt a giant fire of anger burn in my stomach as I stared at Lizette. Today was not the only time this had happened to me. However, it is now clear who was behind these incidents. Even if she was innocent and one of her goons did it, it was now obvious that Lizette was the mastermind just from the look on her face. She was no friend, nor would she ever be. I had to do something. Oh, you have to be mature about these things. I am one who does not like drama, so I'm going to say stand up and walk away. No. I wasn't going to bring myself to her level. She was a bully, but I was not going to let her get to me. I had to be stronger than her, and only then would I have beaten her. I stood up and brushed myself off, pretending nothing had happened.
Anderson, you okay?
Oh, look at that. Lizette's not happy now.
That was a pretty bad fall.
Yeah, I'm fine. A fall like that is nothing. I merely smiled at them, not wanting to let them know the pain rushing through my body from that fall. My arms were quaking. My shoulders were pulsing, but I remained content-faced. I quickly gathered up my belongings and nodded to my two friends. Come on, we'll be late for history. Susie and Naomi looked at each other before frowning and nodding to me. Naomi and Susie flanked me as we began to walk to class away from from the gang of bullies. As we walked, I could barely see Susie flipping the middle finger to the group behind us from the corner of my eye. Oh, Susie.
Friggin' bunch of Lisette feet lickers.
Oh.
That's gross, Susie. It's true. It's all OMG! Lisette is the best! Let's follow her around because we obviously don't have lives.
Oh my goodness, high school drama. Naomi and I could not help but laugh, but the group behind us, however, did not like Susie's words.
At least my dad doesn't screw around in the black market to keep a stupid casino running.
Ooh. Susie stopped. Naomi and I stopped as well to look back at Suzu, who was completely red in anger. Susie slowly turned ahead to the group, glaring daggers at them.
Fuck did you just say?
Ooh, I had to act fast. Uh-oh. Yes. I placed my hand on Suzu's shoulder and gripped tightly, knowing she could try to push my hand away. Suzu, they're not worth it. Let's just go.
It's about time we taught them some manners.
Oh no.
Suzu!
I looked at Lizette in her group. Lizette had a widely amused smile on her face, which irked me to no end. Nevertheless, I knew that fighting wasn't going to get us anywhere. Let's go. I grabbed Susie by the shoulder roughly, pulling her back to Naomi and me. Susie tried to step towards the group, but Naomi held onto her other shoulder. We held onto Susie, who fought against our hands as we marched to class. Surprisingly, the rest of the school day went off without another incident. I went to my classes, had lunch, and was anxious to get home. As the bell rang for school to end, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. A text from Dad. I'll be picking you up today. Make sure you're ready to go when I get there. I don't know why I voice acted that. That's kind of a surprise. I quickly headed back to my locker and got my things before waiting for Naomi and Suzu.
Hey, are you ready to go?
Oh boy. Actually, my dad's picking me up.
Really? together next time. Tell your dad that we've got you covered from now on.
Yeah, alright. Even while I laughed, something didn't seem right. My dad texted me to say this. Why was he going to pick me up? Had I done something wrong? I didn't know. I waved goodbye to Naomi and Susie before heading off to the usual spot where my dad picks me up. I took the time to listen to my music while I waited. Music always helps. Pass time. I needed to go to another Rise of the Phoenix concert. Oh, goodness. Eventually, I had played the entire album with no one showing up. Hey, Dad's never late, especially not this late. I quickly dialed my dad's number again, but as soon as I pressed call, it disconnected and read a signal disconnection error message. Uh-oh. No signal error? How do I not have signal? I double-checked my phone and saw all 5 bars for signal. He must be in a dead zone. Before I could finish, a group of hands grabbed at my hands, feet, and covered my mouth. I screamed into the hand over my mouth, struggling to pull away from the hands grabbing at my limbs. It felt disgusting and scary. Feeling their hands on me, I needed it to stop.
Hey! Don't dirty up Malix's prey.
Oh boy, we got kidnapped. The voice which sent a fearful shiver down my spine, whispered into my ear.
You're coming with me, Miss Anderson.
Oh boy. I couldn't fathom what was happening, but before I knew it, I was blindfolded, my limbs were quickly tied up. I felt myself being carried somewhere and was shoved into something that echoed the interior of a bus or a van. The doors closed off, and off I was taken, unsure of where I was going and why. All I knew that I was in trouble. All I saw was darkness. I felt numb as I was taken to a place I didn't know of. I couldn't even move my lips to scream. Sounds zipped past my ears. First of the interior of a car, then the outside, then an echoey space with whispers and cackles of people vibrating through it. However, the wrap around my eyes was eventually removed from my face and my bonds were cut. It took a while for my eyes to adjust, but I found myself in a warehouse surrounded by devils, including Malix, who was smirking at me.
Nicely done! I'm sure those little shits will come running to find you when they realize you didn't return to your precious little mansion. They'll search everywhere.
Oh, goodness. Malix walked over. Hold on. Checking something. Okay. Malix walked over and set the barrel of his gun against the skin between my eyes.
It'll be so funny when they find your dead body instead.
Oh boy. Fight I mean, she said we would have to use it soon, right? Oh, Maris. All of a sudden, a bright purple light engulfed the room, causing the devils around me to cover themselves.
What
Gusts of wind passed past me, almost forcing me back. I covered my face with my arms, bracing myself and standing my ground. I tried to peek through my arms to see what was going on, but the light continued to shine brightly. As the gust slowly started to die, the light began to fade, revealing a very pissed off Sam. Sam.
Don't worry. I got you.
At that moment, Sam didn't even give Malix a chance to breathe. As I blinked, I saw Sam's first ram itself into Malix's cheek, sending the devil flying back against the wall of the warehouse we were in.
You motherfucker!
Sam was relentless. He quickly followed Malix to the wall and began slamming his fist into Malix's body. An imprint of Malix's body began to form into the wall as Malix was beaten in. The remaining devils stared, trying to figure out what to do. Help Malix or watch in silence. Ares, however, walked up beside me and crossed her arms as she watched with an amused smirk on her face.
Yes. Ah!
With a blast of heat, Sam was forced back from Malix. Sam slid on the balls of his feet, covering his face from the burst of heat that forced him back. Malix, on the other hand, was practically on fire. His menacing eyes glared deadly daggers at Sam as Malix gripped his arm, or his gun.
Dirty, Kibas!
Malix pried himself from the wall and began to fire hot bullets at Sam. However, none of the shots made it to Sam's body. In the blink of an eye, Sam had disappeared from his spot and reappeared at Malix's side, ready to lay a heavy punch to Malix's head.
Too slow!
Malix, though, wasn't as slow as Sam thought. Malix quickly turned to shoot at Sam, who barely had time to dodge it. It quickly turned into a fight of Sam using his speed to dodge and try to hit Malix, and Malix using his gun and devil-like skills to try and lock onto Sam's appearing form. It was almost too fast to follow. However, I could tell something inside Sam had changed. He wasn't holding anything back in this fight. It was as if something incredibly demonic had taken a hold of him and forced each punch he threw and each step he made. Was this the extent of a demon power? I didn't have a chance to answer myself. As Sam tried to dodge Malix, Sam tripped and landed on one knee with a loud thump. Oh no.
Gotcha, bitch!
I gasped in horror. Sam had no choice had no chance to dodge or run. I could only stare, petrified as Malik charged forward and jammed the barrel of his gun into Sam's mouth. Oh my goodness.
Hellfire, Incubus!
Then at that moment, something in the air changed. The air instantly went from frantic to still energy. What had been described in tone as the color red quickly turned into a deadly mix of purple and green as everything began to blend together all at once. My eyes never strayed from Sam's face, however, even as it changed. His eyes began to glow a bright golden yellow as Sam began to bite down on the gun in his mouth. As the trigger was pulled, the gun was snapped in two between Sam's teeth. Small fragments of the gun flew everywhere while the look on Malik's face went from confused to petrified. Before Malix could utter a single response, Sam let out a giant animalistic roar, sending waves of fear down my spine, and tackled Malix to the ground. Oh my. I stared as Sam began to slam punches into Malix's face, one right after another. Sam's skin began to morph and shift with each punch, changing from human to something else. Before I was allowed to see Sam's new form, however, a pair of hands quickly covered my eyes. Instinctively, I reached up and gripped them, trying to pull them off. A voice stopped me.
It's me. Don't look.
Oh boy. I listened carefully and let the last two words linger in my mind. Don't look. Why? What was being hidden from me? I wanted to know, but something told me to obey Damien's command. I could still hear Sam screaming and grunting with each punch he rammed into Malix's face, with the occasional cracking of bone and blood splatter echoing in the air. Maybe it was better that I wasn't able to see.
That's enough, Sam!
Oh. Almost instantly after James' command, the sound stopped. The only thing anyone could hear then was Sam's pants and grunts for air.
Malix is dead, and you've lost your glamour spell.
Oh boy.
Shut up.
Glamour spell? What did he mean? Why did Sam sound so different? Why was this being hidden from me?
It's a spell that makes us look human.
Oh. I froze. Look human? They didn't look like humans after all? What did they look like?
Demons.
As if Matthew knew what Damien was talking about, Matthew spoke up, followed by the sound of a cork popping out of a bottle.
Well, not for much longer. Here. Let's go. You gotta regain your glamour spell and you're all out of energy. Come on. Fine. Whatever.
Did we make the right choice? Oh gosh. I could hear the small clinking of glass being passed before hearing Sam guzzle down a liquid of some sort. To feel the air around me gently began to warm back up, insinuating that everything had been returned to normal. Finally, Damien removed his hands from my eyes, allowing me to see around me once again. The devils, including Ares, had fled. On top of Malix's body was a dirty sheet that was quickly turning red from blood. I could see that Malix's face was completely caved in, making a dip in the blanket. The boys, however, had gathered around me. All of them, including Sam, looked like nothing had happened. What just... I tried to speak, but everything zipped around in my head as the whole event, and I felt like speaking wasn't possible.
Let's just get you home, miss. Nothing more to see.
Moving along, nothing to see here. I could only nod. What had happened boggled my mind to the point of disbelief. I was second-guessing everything, lost in a sea of what and how and when. As we walked out of the warehouse, I looked to Sam for some form of sign that I wasn't dreaming. Sam kept his eyes down and away from me. It was over. Malix was gone and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body at the thought of never having to deal with that group again. At the same time, a ping of realization hit the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As we approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down my heart. It was late, but the boys led me inside and turned on the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
Oh, goodness.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our neck.
Just tired. Can I hit the hay early? I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
I looked at Damien, knowing he could read my mind, and frowned. I didn't want him to know about my thoughts on the situation. Yeah, bed sounds good. I wanted to just end tonight. Too much had happened and I felt dizzy just trying to figure it out. However, Damien spoke out, stopping all of us from moving.
Should we be gone in the morning?
Oh no! The air became still with tension. The realization of the situation hit the boys like a wave, forcing them to turn to me in curiosity. They had remembered the deal and were now awaiting me to decide their fate. Oh, I gulped, face to face with the reality of the situation. The boys were leaving it up to me. They looked like they were willing to accept whatever I had demanded. It was only fair, though, after all that had happened. I looked at Sam, feeling my heart flutter in my chest. I didn't want him to leave, but would he ask to stay? I hoped that he would say no and ask me to stay longer. As if he knew what I wanted, Sam moved and stepped to me, putting his hands in his pocket and looking down at the ground. He was still ashamed of what he had done, but he spoke to me regardless.
Hey, kinda.
Oh.
Wanted to thank you for your energy and stuff. Well, I kinda wanna stay here. Can we stay here?
Aw, that's sweet. My heart skipped while a large red blush ran across my cheeks. The boys stared at Sam wide-eyed, but didn't dare to speak out yet. If they want to protect themselves, they better not say anything, because Sam will probably, like, punch them. Sam stepped back to give me space, returning to where he was. I moved my gaze across each boy, trying to make a decision. If they left in the morning, I would never see them again, and my life would return to normal. If I did decide to let them go, that would have been for the best. No goodbyes, no delays. But did I want to? They had done so much for me in a small amount of time. No, don't let them go. I wanted them to stay. I wanted him to stay. I merely smiled, staring at the man I had come to have feelings for before speaking at last. I would love if you could all stay. The boys cheered tiredly, but nonetheless enthusiastically. I giggled at the sight. It was cute to see everyone so excited. Despite the tiredness that ran equally through our bodies, today was a rough day. My home is your home, as long as you can still help with the chores. The boys nodded in unison, agreeing to the terms I had set for them. Despite the good situation, I felt myself slowly slipping into unconsciousness. However, James quickly clapped his hands together, getting everyone's attention and waking me up, making sure I didn't pass out on the floor.
Alright, everyone. We're all very tired, so let's head to bed, shall we? Oh! Yeah, sleep is actually...
Sometimes you always forget sleep exists, right?
We've had a very long day, but it will be good to just relax tonight and tomorrow.
Sleep sounds really good right now.
Yeah, man.
I watched a happy smile grow into Sam's lip. He shared my excitement, knowing that we'd be together longer. Who knew how long we would stay together? All I cared about was I would be with him. The others quickly left to finally rest, leaving me and Sam alone at last. My heart fluttered a bit as Sam walked closer to me, looking to his feet. He was nervous, but it was really cute to see him that way, so I didn't do anything but smile.
Hey, thanks for letting us stay.
You're welcome, Sam. I'm happy to have you stay here. I watched his smile brighten a bit before he cleared his throat and looked up at me with a serious face. I didn't know if it was tiredness or my growing attachment to him, but I felt myself sway a bit on my feet. However, Sam's face made it clear that he wanted to say something else, making me forget that my bed was also calling for me.
Listen, about what happened at the warehouse.
No, it's fine. You did what you had to do. I understand. I had accepted everything that happened and knew that Sam had to do what he had to do. He was real and he was someone I didn't want to be without, even if that meant nodding against my curiosity. Besides, I was too tired to explore that memory further. Sam nodded before holding out a hand to me.
Come on, let's get you to bed.
I nodded before Sam gently lifted me up into his arms like a bride and carried me to my room. I didn't want to leave his arms, leaning my head against Sam's chest, but eventually I was slowly lowered to my bed and covered with my bed covers. I was still in my school clothes, but I was too tired to strip or care. I looked at Sam, fighting a yawn from escaping me as he gently ran a hand over my hair.
Get some sleep, alright? I'll make some breakfast again for you in the morning.
Aw. I nodded with a tired smile before watching him slowly stand and leave my room, closing the door. A wave of happiness washed over me as I laid in bed. I made a good choice. Sure, it'd be hard, but I could tell that I would be able to manage it. Help around the house and being with a man who I was slowly starting to fall for would be worth it. I slowly felt my exhaustion take over. I let sleep consume me as I drifted into the darkness in my mind. Everything was peaceful. I was happy. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes.
You are an interesting creature.
Oh boy. What the? I opened my eyes to see a woman staring down at me with a very sly smirk on her face. I opened my mouth to scream in fright, but a hand quickly covered my mouth.
No screaming now. Too early, silly girl.
Who was this? I could only stare up at the woman above me. I still felt weak, not having the strength to move and fight her off. What was going on, and why was she here?
Why do the boys like you? You're unique, yes, but that can't be all that you have going for you.
Rage began to consume my core again. This woman, whoever she was making me mad. She must have known as she let another smirk grow onto her face.
Ooh, you're feisty. That could be why.
Before I could bite her hand in anger, she removed her hand from my lips, standing up and staring down at me from her place next to my bed. Ooh. I quickly sat up and glared daggers at the intruder. She was very beautiful, but I felt more anger than amazement. Who the hell are you, and why are you in my room? To be honest, maybe she thought she could just come in. I mean, the boys did that too, and there's 5 of them. Maybe she thought her own self would be fine. The woman began to laugh, making the rage inside me increase. I wanted to punch her, but I waited for her answer.
How silly of me. I forgot that we demons are not well known of in your world. You can call me Diana, little human.
Of course. Diana, demon? You're a demon?
I am. But I'm much more than just an average demon.
What do you mean?
Silly girl. I'm a succubus.
Oh, so if you don't know, succubus and incubus are pretty much the same thing, except succubi are female and incubi are male. I stared at Diana in shock. A succubus? First incubi, now a succubus? Great, I had bet both genders of sex demons. Diana crossed her arms under her bosom and looked at my body.
Well, you are pretty.
Oh, why thank you.
A little too shoes, aren't you?
Well, you know. I moved out and stood out from the bed, still glaring at Diana. Why are you here?
Well, I just wanted to see who my competition was.
Competition? Oh, Mika, you and I are like synced already. Competition?
For the boys, of course. They don't belong here, and yet here they remain. I want to know why, and remedy this little issue.
This girl is seriously pissing me off. Issue? What issue? They want to stay here so they can.
Silly, uneducated human. You don't understand the important roles these boys play in the abyssal planes. You keeping them here is practically imprisonment.
You have about 10 seconds to leave.
Is that a threat? How cute. What are you going to do? Kill me?
What's holding up that dress over? Okay, I'm not going to question clothing physics. And if I do...
You barely have the strength to stand, little human. I can rip the rest of your energy out and knock you into a coma. You'll never be able to wake up again.
Touch me and I'll...
Enjoy every minute of it.
Oh my. I felt my body freeze and heat up to almost a painful haze. My mind began to feel fuzzy as Diana stepped to me and caressed my cheek.
Now, you're going to listen to everything I say without any questions. Got it?
Oh boy. I nodded.
Good. I plan to bring the boys back to the abyssal planes. Why? So that I can take my place as queen of their realm. They have no reason to be here in this silly little world. So I'm going to make sure they return home. Okay, Pumpkin?
I nodded but growled. My rage couldn't be concealed despite the hold I was under. You evil bitch.
Call me evil all you want, dearie. I'm not evil. You're just in my way.
Oh. I love how she disregarded the bitch comment. I felt Diana. Is it Diana or Diana? Diana kind of sounds cooler. Let's call her Diana. I felt Diana lean into my ear and whisper, making me unconsciously shiver in both pleasure and annoyance.
Now, be a good little human and go to bed. I'll make sure they're gone before you get home tomorrow from school. So make sure to say goodbye in the morning.
Oh no. I felt my body move on its way to lay in bed and cover itself with my bed sheets. I glared at Diana the entire way down. She laughed at my futility. I'll get you.
Oh, please do.
Ooh, that's... oh. All of a sudden her voice deepened and became cold and demonic, sending a violent, scared shiver down my spine. Her red eyes practically illuminated in the darkness of my room as she glared at me.
Give me a reason to make your life a living hell.
Oh my goodness. I gritted my teeth, trying to fight back against the hold on me. She couldn't have been that tough. She needed energy to survive, right? I was sure she couldn't have had enough to hold me down forever. Diana then laughed and returned to normal.
Oh, and make sure you don't tell the boys I was here. I want my visit to be a surprise.
Oh boy. I felt the hold on me disappear, allowing me to sit up and practically growl at Diana in rage. What's stopping me?
You must not care about your friends and family.
Oh no!
Care for the boys.
Oh my goodness. I stopped and stared. What did she mean by that? Was that a threat to my family? Yana smirked at me, knowing the confusion behind my eyes.
Let's just say that if you tell the boys about me, I'll make sure that no one will care for you. And you'll be all alone in this little house until the day you die.
Oh goodness. I could feel fear creeping into me. Alone? How could she do that? The word demon reverberated in my head, reminding me that I was facing off against something supernatural. A human with a shield versus a devil was one thing. A human on her own versus a demon was another.
Have a good night.
At that, Diana sank into the floor through a magic purple pentagram, which disappeared as her head vanished into the floor. I couldn't believe it. I had someone get the caramel. I had one problem, now I had another. Instead of a crazy psycho devil who wanted to kill me and the boys, I had a succubus wanting to ruin my life and take the boys away. You know, this sounds like something that would happen to me on a daily basis. Could my life get any worse? No, I wasn't gonna let her win. She's not as powerful as she looks. I know it. I had to mentally confirm it. She wasn't going to win. The boys wanted to stay with me. I let out a sigh before closing my eyes, affirming my plan of action. No matter what she was going to do, I was going to beat her. Eventually, the morning arrived, and the sun screamed at me to get up. Surprisingly, I woke up before my alarm clock once again, which was nice. It was always nice to wake up earlier, because then it's just like, oh, extra time. I can, like, stretch and, you know. I stretched out and quickly got dressed, getting ready for school. She expected me to say goodbye to the boys. I'll say good morning and we'll see them when I come back. No way am I going to say goodbye. Let's save. Just because I am a bit worried about messing up. I scooped up my bag and headed downstairs to the dining room, seeing the boys already eating a delicious selection of food. The smell made my stomach grow wildly as the sight of food drew me to walk further into the room.
Good morning, miss. Did you sleep well?
Oh, yeah, just fine, you know. I had some bitch enter my room, but, you know, that's a very everyday occurrence. Before I could lie, hiding the incident in the back of my mind, Damien furrowed his eyebrows and stopped eating. Uh-oh.
She's here.
Oh, no. Damn it, Damien. The boys looked at Damien in confusion while I cursed his abilities silently in my mind. Wow. Mika and I are, like, the same right now.
Damien, what's up with you?
Oh, Matthew.
Owns the house.
Damien looked to me, wanting me to explain for him. However, the threats that Diana gave me last night warned me to keep my mouth shut. We have to... Okay, in the situation... I mean, yeah, we're not going to let her win, but... Our friends and family are in danger. I don't want to put them in danger, because... Yeah, Mika may have a protective shield, but the rest of them don't. So, I think we should avoid it. I shook my head at Damien, not wanting to talk about it. Damien sighed and looked at James. James tilted his head and furrowed his brows at Damien before looking to me.
Does anyone else live in this house?
No, just us.
And who is Diana?
My heart stopped. Damien was still able to read my mind. I couldn't help but glare at him, but he continued to press a hard, tell the truth gaze at me. I sighed. Damien was going to press the issue, so I had no choice but to speak. A girl named Diana came by last night.
Diana? Is she important?
Did she try to hurt you?
Oh boy. Oh, Sam. She's a succubus. That single word made the boys stop and stare at me. I looked at each boy, unsure what was going through their minds. Should I have avoided it? Well, we tried.
So, she's going to try and bring us back.
She must really be desperate.
Well, what should we do now?
Nothing. She'll give up eventually.
Will she?
The boys continued to look at me as if I knew the answer to that question. Damn it, Damien. She told that if I told you she'd make my life a living hell. She can't possibly do that, right? She's not a devil.
No, she isn't. However, she is a very powerful being. She's a master of mind manipulation and has been trained in illusion. Unlike other demons who use strength to get power, she uses her charisma.
She has the power to make armies bow to
knew him. That's why she's so obsessed with us.
What do you mean?
Well, she sort of has family ties to us. She was promised to marry one of us in exchange for more power.
Whoa.
She's just some whacked up hussy who doesn't know how to cook. She's not a real threat.
Ooh, savage.
Oh, really? I feel insulted.
The boys and I looked around the room, wondering where the voice came from. I felt cold sweat run down the back of my neck in fear, remembering what kind of power she had. At last, we saw Diana by the entrance of the kitchen, juggling a single red apple in her hand as she leaned against the archway. The boys quickly surrounded me, glaring at the intruder.
So, you took up a human name as well.
Beautiful name, isn't it? Well, for a human name.
Uh-huh.
What the hell do you want?
Oh boy.
To bring you back, of course. However, you weren't supposed to know that I was coming. I completely forgot about that little mind-reading ability. My mistake.
Diana pushed off from the archway and walked towards us, making the boys step closer to me in a protective circle. Diana laughed.
My. What has the world come to? A group of demons protecting a human girl? I'll tell you right now, she's not that pretty. And from what I can tell, she's still a virgin.
Ooh. Hey, you don't know. My face grew red in complete anger and embarrassment. How dare she? Oh, hell no. Wait, what are we saying hell no to? To the virgin or... I stepped up, gently pushing the boys away to be face to face with Diana. I was furious and she was about to feel my wrath. You are in my house. You're an intruder. You have no power here.
Oh, really? Do I have to remind you of the power I have, dear?
With a snap of her fingers, my mind suddenly locked up and I felt blank. I could see the world around me, but I lost control of my body. The boys quickly reformed around me, with James gripping onto Diana's wrist in anger.
You will leave this instant.
Or what? You'll kill me? I completely dare you to.
Let me do it. I could use the word. Don't.
The boys looked at Damien while Diana smirked at my blank state. I wanted to fight this hold, but her power held me down.
And why not?
She wants us to kill her. If she dies, then civil war starts in the demon world.
Oh, goodness.
Very good, sweetie.
What happens in the demon world doesn't concern us anymore. We live here now.
Uh-oh.
The demons will come to the human world and hunt us down before attacking each other.
The demons will come to the human world all because of her?
Sneaky bitch.
Oh, Sam's pissed. With another snap of Diana's fingers, I was released from her hold, almost buckling to my knees.
Well, will you all change your minds? I assure you, it's for the greater good.
I expected the boys to say no. What I heard was complete silence. None of the boys replied to Diana, which made me both nervous and fearful as to why. Diana leaned her head back a bit, surprised for a different reason.
No. Well, I see.
Oh boy. Was silence truly them saying no to her? I looked around at the boys and saw the disobedience in their eyes, giving me my answer. I felt my heart flutter, especially when my eyes landed on Sam. He kept close to me, glaring daggers into Diana. I could feel that he was completely adamant in his choice to stay. I don't know what, but I was incredibly happy to know he wanted to stay. Diana sighed and pressed a finger into her temple, rubbing it gently.
Either all of you are playing a very convincing game. You all must be out of your mind.
Or both, you never know. Diana then looked at me, locking her gaze with mine as if to read me. I could tell she wanted me to do something, but the boys would stop her, so the stare was her only available action. After a small moment of silence, Diana licked her lips before breaking the gaze battle and smiling to the boys around me.
Very well. I guess I'll take my leave now.
Oh boy. What? Her leave? Was she serious? The boys around me straightened up and grew confused looked on their faces as Diana stepped back and away from us with a small bow, flaunting her cleavage. Of course. Without another word, a deep purple pentagram appeared under her feet, and Diana's body slowly sank into the floor. As her head vanished into the floor, the pentagram vanished. At once, the boys relaxed and slowly began to return to the spots at the table, each in deep thought.
She'll be back, but she won't kill us. She needs us alive.
Oh, that's even... this is a rough situation.
Whatever. We'll just keep saying no. She can't force us to come back.
She can't do anything but annoy us. Eventually she'll give up.
That's the hope, anyway.
Hopefully. Sam walked over to me and placed a hand on my shoulder, looking at me with concern.
If she comes after you, you need to tell us.
No.
Okay?
I nodded, knowing that he wanted to protect me. Sam gently took his hand from my shoulder and very gently moved a strand of hair from my face, however, making me blush and forget what I was thinking about. Hold on. How good are we on time? Oh my goodness, we're already 35 minutes in. Alright, I'm going to stop the episode here. I figured it seemed like a good time to pause and stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me the Otome. I'm losing track of time with this game. I really am. It's getting pretty intense with these storylines, so if you guys are enjoying, please comment down below. I know I am. And until next time, bye guys.